Mike Perlack here to talk to, entertain, whatever you want to call it, you. Gonna do a little time traveling. I decided to go to a little further, to August 1998 for some footage that kind of correlates to one of the last things I talked about in my last video. It's actually going to be time traveling to August 1998 for a little bit of social studies with my grandmother. And we actually talked briefly, anyways, about the time that Joan Jett and Michael J. Fox were in town making a movie in the neighborhood. So, without further hors d'oeuvre, ado. Gotta go back in time. The total running time of the footage is 30 minutes, so this will probably be in 2 parts.
The Chris Farley documentary. Now here's Grandma Rosecrans about to tell us about our family history.
Oh.
Well, what do you got to say? Why don't you start with your parents?
Do what?
Why don't you start with telling us about your parents?
Well, I had awful good parents. My mom and my dad both were very good, but my mom was, when she passed away, was only 44.
Oh yeah?
Quite young.
You know what they say, only the good die young.
Yeah. My dad was 67. My mom was very short, but she was quite heavy.
Oh.
She weighed about 200 pounds. But my mom had high blood pressure, that's what her problem was.
Oh. How exactly did you and Grandpa meet?
Through the family, because her Wally, his oldest brother,
Yeah.
married my sister.
Oh.
And he was a nice guy, boy. My sister was a pain in the ass, and Wally was a real nice guy. He was very short, he was like his mom. He was only about 4 feet 4. I mean, at 5 feet 4.
4 feet 4? What was he, an alien?
I wasn't quite that right. But he was a good Joe. I knew the entire family. And I dated most of them. And I guess I dated the wrong one. You know, everybody warned me because of our ages. So actually, I probably at fault.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
But he was pretty young. He was a father of 21. That's our max. He was only 21 years old when she was born. And I was 28. All of our relatives, the guy was older.
Oh, yeah?
Dad's in my case, I was older. Well, I was engaged to Ed. Ed gave me a ring. I gave it back to him. The second brother.
Oh, yeah?
But I liked Ed an awful lot. I liked all the kids. I liked even Uncle George, the one that got killed in service.
Well, what war was it?
Now, Wally, my oldest brother, I was with Uncle Wall, was like a brother.
Oh, yeah? Oh.
That's how I felt so close to him. But a brother that was very dear to me.
Oh, yeah? But the one that died in service, what war was that one?
The Korean.
Oh, Korean?
He was only 17 years old.
That was in the 50s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uncle George was a little, very young man, only 17. He went, he signed up. And his dad told him it was up to him and what to do when they took him in.
Oh.
They never seen him. They sent the Jeep back here. He had a Jeep of his.
Uh-huh.
When they sent it back over here,
Oh.
it went overseas. And they knew then that something had happened.
Huh.
That's why Teresa's mad at me, because I was engaged to Ed for a while.
Who was mad at you?
Hmm?
Who has met you? Who has met at you?
Oh, Teresa.
Oh.
That's Ed's wife.
Oh.
Ed and I were engaged. He also is younger, but not as much as Dad. He's only a year younger than me. And when he died, I didn't go.
What?
I couldn't. You know yourself, I can't walk.
Oh, yeah.
But she wondered what was between us.
Oh.
When after it was over with, she called me up on the phone.
Uh-huh.
Boy, oh boy, did I have an earful. What did you do to my husband? He's laying there dying and all he's doing is mentioning your name. I'm the one that had to put up with him.
Oh, God.
She's a Polak, but she's an insulting one. Her mother and dad are beautiful people.
Mm-hmm.
She's an insult to her parents, believe me. I don't know where the hell you know our Vince.
She must have hung around the wrong crowd, huh?
Boy, I'll say. Now Vince, that's another brother of Grandpa's.
Uh-huh.
That's the littlest one. Let's see, Vince would be 63. He lost his wife already.
Mm-hmm.
She died of breast cancer.
Uh-huh.
Teresa calls up his house and raises hell with him. That's not her damn business, something like that. She did the same thing with Arca, and Grandpa got tired of it just about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's longer than that. It's about 6 months ago. She called up here and was telling us about me running after him and everything. He knows I didn't run after him. We were married then. So in the meantime, she keeps on telling us this and that and the other thing. And all of a sudden she tells them, I want my overcoat back. You know that overcoat I gave you? I decided I want it. And he got mad because
is she an Indian giver or something?
And he Vince down too. The whole darn bunch of them she got after him. So he told her about it. He said, well, you ain't going to get the overcoat. I'm going to keep it. He said, you don't give people things and then their belly up on wanting things back.
Yeah.
She hasn't called me since. But she talked to the Vince, everybody. The only one she did get a chance to talk to was Uncle Walt. Because he was the oldest brother, and I guess she thought she'd get a kick in the teeth if she did. Teresa was crippled. And there are some people who are crippled that take advantage of it. And Teresa was one of them.
Yeah.
She had polio.
Uh-huh.
And you were supposed to get down and do Ala to her all the time, because she was crippled.
Yeah.
Well, I'd hate like hell to hang how many of our boys were crippled, and nobody gave them any pleasures.
How long? I have a question for you. Do you remember, or do you have any idea how long our family has been in America? In other words, your mom and dad, were their mom and dad already here, or did their mom and dad come from Europe or whatever? In other words, how long has our family been here in America? Do you know?
But near as I know, Grandpa's mother and dad was here in America. My mother and dad were. And my grandparents were here even.
Yeah.
Grandpa and Grandpa Hoyt. Yeah, Grandpa Slusher, that's my mother's maiden name.
Huh.
My sister Gertrude was lucky, but she had a short marriage too because he died of cancer. Her husband looked like Gary Cooper. I never thought that she ever knew that. I was surprised. But I thought so right away, except he's not as tall as Gary Cooper. Gary Cooper's a tall, lanky guy. And Henry was only about 5'11", but he did resemble him a great deal. I always was jealous of my sister thinking she was married to Gary Cooper.
Well, you married Grandpa because he looked like, what's his name? And I can never think of his name.
What's his name?
No, because he looks like Christian Slater.
Buddy, I like him. I like the young ones. I saw Christian Slater. I liked him. I was in my 40s then.
Remember what Grandpa said at the hospital that time? Yeah. All these years, I thought it was Nietzsche you loved. No, it was Christian Slater.
Yeah, that's my favorite star, other than Gary Cooper. I mean, the more up-to-date one.
And MacGyver, too, right?
Who?
And MacGyver, don't forget MacGyver.
Oh, MacGyver. Oh, we seen the guy before.
Oh, when was he
A
on?
new show.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, but is he sober faced in it? No funny business. Oh, he's very serious. He's a sort of a semi-owner of an airplane outfit. And he tells the people what to do.
Uh-huh.
But he runs the plane himself. When they, take off, he's the one that handles it. He's good at it. I like him.
Were any of our family, out of curiosity, were any of our family members from the 60s, do you know of any of our family members that were in Vietnam? Or was our gang pretty old by then?
In Vietnam. I imagine them all might have been. Most of our soldier friends up here were probably in Vietnam. But the only one I know in the immediate family was Uncle George, was in Korea. He died in there.
Yeah. Did they never told you what he died of or what happened, or they never told you?
I don't know how to explain that to you. They don't feed the boys, the soldiers,
Then how do they expect them to fight?
Yeah. I don't know what the heck word to use for it. I think you call it dysentery.
Huh.
You keep on going to the toilet, yet you have nothing in you. And you just get so weak you die.
Because I know my grandpa, I know his brother was supposed to have died in the war only because the enemy starved him to death. The enemy got a hold of him and kept him hostage and starved him and all that. At least that's the story that Grandpa used to tell. I don't know, Grandpa Parallel.
Your grandpa might have been in the Polish Army. Did he ever mention it?
Oh yeah. I know my grandpa Parallel. He had escaped from a camp once. Of some sort. And to do so, I remember him telling a story about it. How he had to snap the jaw of some German Shepherd that was running after him. Because you know how they had dogs there to stop prisoners from escaping and stuff. Well, he said one of the dogs was chasing him, and he got it. And when I saw him before he died, I asked him about it, and he says that he took it and he snapped the jaw of the dog, to get away,
Yeah.
Well.
Now that's your Grandpa Paralek.
Yeah.
Paralek doesn't sound like a Polish name to me.
Actually, it is. According to my dad, he says that it's one of few Polish names that don't end in a vowel. According to him, most Polish names end in a vowel. A, E, I, O, U. Most Polish names end in a vowel.
Oh, yeah.
And ours is like one of the few, I guess, that end in the continent. But my teacher asked me about that one day at school. He thought it was Yugoslavic or something. No, I'm not a Slav, I'm a Pole. Lock.
And we have a lot of friends who are not Slavic, Slovak, whichever they pronounce it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what hurts me so bad, even now yet? When I went to school to Proviso here, it hurts me to see a black person cry because he's afraid that somebody will eat him up because he is black. Because his one parent was white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Believe me, they don't have that problem in Maywood anymore.
There's so many kids out here that parents were married to a black man or to a black woman or vice versa. But the other couple was was white.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a young man come into my folks' home up here at 1013. He was scared to death. He wouldn't come out. Dad went out and got him. He said, we ain't like that. His name was Jeremiah Craig. And his mother was white. But he was scared to death of white people. And my dad explained to him, he said, try and get that out of your head. Figure you're just as good as they are. Don't think you're better, but think you're just as good.
Exactly, yeah.
The kid realized it, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
But when he went to Proviso, he was scared to death of the kids there because his face was like what Grandpa called a light yellow.
Uh-huh.
When you're married to the opposite color, you know, the black and the white like
Yeah.
that, you're a
He was a mixed breed, yeah, he was a mixed,
yellow.
yeah, he was a mixed breed, yeah. Yeah, I know.
I was scared to death. I felt so sorry for him. But, my dad liked him. He tried his best to try to make him not be so self-conscious of the fact that he was black. He said, "You're black, be proud of it.
Yeah.
If you've got white blood, be proud of that too. That's nobody's business but yours."
Yeah, really.
And we have the same trouble with the Jewish friend of ours.
Yeah. You gotta live with the blood flowing through your veins, might as well be proud of it, right? You know,
You can't help what you are.
carry it with pride.
I wish black folks got along better with us than they do. I don't know if Grandpa has any brains or not left, but
Yeah, I wonder myself.
he thinks that the white people and the black people do get along better than they did years ago. But
They probably get along better than they did years ago, but but it's still, there's still tension. I can tell you that there's still tension.
because when they're afraid to come into your home like that. There was a black girl at Proviso.
Well, now it's 50-50. See, if you're a white guy and if you're a minority, white person in a minority black area, you're the one who's scared. If you're a minority black person if you're a black person in a minority white area, then you're the one. Then you're scared.
You're scared, yeah.
So it's like a 50-50 deal now.
I graduated with a young lady named Ruth Davis.
Uh-huh.
And nobody would, she was in my cooking class. Nobody would cook with her. You think I'm going to work, talk with a nigger? Want to get fired and stuff like that. Well, I cooked every day. I'm in my cooking class with Ruth Davis, and I'm still living. She's probably gone. But she made some beautiful food.
Uh-huh.
But she was so afraid of everybody. I've had...
I'm going to go on to part 2. I tried to bleep that out, but hopefully I don't get in trouble. Damn Gestapos. So I'm going to have to divide this into 2 parts.